Guys, in today's video we are going to treat one of the question which I took it from question paper that has been written on the previous examination. So this question paper, guys, is paper 2. So the question that we are going to do today is calculation under manufacturing topic. Okay, let's check the question together and go through it, then we're gonna simply answer all those questions. Okay, the information that we've been given, they said Sinclair's Wine own a separate factories that manufacture product according to orders received. There is no work in progress stock. Okay, and they said the year is ending 28 February. 1.1 indicate whether the following statement are true or false and write only true or false next to the question. Okay, let's just go through this quick, then we're gonna go to our main question. Okay, number one, they said wages of factory cleaners is a direct labor cost. We want to know whether it's true or false. What do you think before I answer? A wages of factory cleaners is direct labor cost. Of course, it's false. Okay, a direct labor are directly involved into a production. They don't do a cleaning. Okay, a cleaning is a factory overhead. 1.1.2 delivery cost of finished goods to retailers are selling and distribution cost. It's true. It's true, but you also have to be careful when you answer this kind of question, because they can say that a delivery cost of raw material are selling and distribution, which is going to be false. Okay, so this delivery cost is like to deliver to customer, so they are selling. Okay, 1.1.3 depreciation of office equipment is administration cost. It's true. Anything that is related to office is administration cost. Okay, so this business, guys, is manufacturing a desk as well as chairs. Okay, so we have questions that we have to answer under a desk, and we also have a question that we have to answer based on the information of chairs. Okay, let's go through the question first. Number 1.2.1 under desk factory, they said complete a factory overhead cost note. Okay, then the following question, calculate the total cost of production of finished goods. 1.2.3 Sinclair wants to produce additional 1,500 desks while maintaining the selling price and cost. Okay, and calculate additional profit you can expect. So that's the third question that we have to answer under a desk factory. Okay, then we're gonna go to chair after we completed everything here. All right, so the first step, of course, we have to lay down the format of factory overhead cost. So it's a note, guys. They didn't say prepare what we call a ledger account. So we are going to draw a note like this. Okay, and you said a factory overhead cost note. Okay, so this is how it will look like. All right, now let's go to information that we have. Number A, information number A. Number A, they say a desk factory, then they give us extract from pre-adjustment amount and they give us adjustment amount. Okay, information number B is for both factory of desk and chairs, but let's read information number A first. Okay, number one, they give us indirect labor. Okay, if you can check adjustment number one before, guys, before you start writing the answers here, you must check if there is any effect of additional information, because you might write the final answer and you must you find that in that situation you are supposed to open a bracket and write some calculation. All right. If you check, bullet number 1 is water and electricity, number 2 is rent, number 3 is insurance, which means that we don't have any effect of indirect labor. Okay, then which means that in this case we are going to write indirect labor as it is, because there's no any effect. Indirect labor amount will be 296,500. Okay, then the following one, they said depreciation of factory plant, okay, which is amount of 166,000. We didn't see any adjustment related to this one, which means that even depreciation, we're just gonna write the answer as it is. Why depreciation on factory plant is falling under factory overhead? Very simple, because they even mentioned that it's for factory. Remember, under factory overhead, we put everything that is indirect cost, as long as it's related to a factory. Okay, 166,000. Okay, then we have advertising. Do we advertise under a factory where we produce? No, we don't advertise there. We advertise on Department of Selling and Distribution, which means that it's not going to fall here. Okay, then water and electricity, we have to open a bracket because we have additional information. Number 1, water and electricity. Okay, we open a bracket and we have amount of 24,500. But this 24,500, we have to read additional information about 1. They say water and electricity for February 2019 is 18,000 and must be taken into account. 80% is allocated to factory, then the balance is for admin. Okay, which means that in this case we must first add 18,000. Why are we adding? Because it's for February. February is still within our reporting period. We have to make sure that we add a 12 months before we do what? We do allocation. Okay, then after that we're gonna multiply this answer by 80%, because they said only 80% fall under a factory. Okay, then if you do this calculation, you are going to get amount of 212,800. Simple as that. Okay, now we have to move to a rent. Rent expense is amount of 345,600. But we have to read information, guys, because some rent can be paid for office, which doesn't fall under a factory. Okay, they said rent must be allocated according to floor area. A factory is 810 square meter, office is 180 square meter, sales department is 90 meter square, okay, or square meter. Okay, then rent expense, we have to open a bracket and say 345,600 multiply by, on top we put what we are looking for. We are looking for what? For rent for factory, which is 810. Okay, and on the bottom we put total of everything. If you add 810 plus 180 and 90, it's going to give you a square meter total of 1,008. Okay, then after that you see 345,600 multiplied by 810 divided by 1,080, and it's gonna give you amount of 259,200. Simple as that. Okay, now we have to move to the next one. The next one, they said that insurance allocated to sales department is 12,600. They said this amount of 12,600 is allocated to sales department. Okay, and when we read the information number 3, they say 75% of insurance must be allocated to factory and the balance applied to sales department, which means that the one that we have, guys, the one that we have is not 100% amount because it's for sales department. Sales department, remember, they say that it's only 25%. So this is how we are going to calculate this one. We are going to say insurance amount of 12,600. We are not going to say multiply by 75 over 100. It's gonna be wrong because this amount is not over 100, but it's over 25. We are looking for 75 of factory out of amount of 25%, which is sales department. Okay, then it's gonna give us a, let's do calculation. 12,600 multiplied by 75 over 25, and it's gonna give us amount of 37,800. Simple as that. Okay, then the last one, it was a factory sundry expense, which doesn't have any transaction. Okay, sundry expense, guys, and we're just gonna write it as it is. The amount is 12,600. Okay, then after that we don't have any further transaction. We have to calculate everything. You add everything from top until the last one, and you will get the amount of 1,018,000. Okay, so this is how we prepare effective overhead under this part. Okay, so we're gonna proceed to number 2. So guys, if you are learning something on this channel, thank you so much. I appreciate that you visit my channel. But if you haven't subscribed, guys, please make sure that you subscribe. It's gonna assist someone who need a similar help like you. YouTube, they are going to recommend it to more people if you subscribe, if you like this video, so that at least other people who are struggling with accounting, they will be able to find this video. Thank you so much, guys. So let's just proceed to number 2. Number 2, they want us to calculate a total cost of production of finished goods. Okay, so we have to base on the information that we have. So based on the information that we have information number B. Okay, they say that, remember, the one that we are calculating is for desk factory only. Okay, then to calculate this amount is very simple. We have to add all variable and fixed that fall under a factory. Okay, which means that when you see any selling and distribution and admin, please do not include them. Okay, now this is how we are going to do. If you check direct labor amount, we don't have it, but direct material we have it, and factory overhead is the one that we calculated. Now we're gonna suffer to get a direct labor amount. But guys, because we have a total units produced and sold on the information number B of 9,000, it's gonna be simple now for us. Okay, 1.2, because we have a total units produced of 9,000, guys, we're just gonna say 9,000 of units produced and multiply by all those variable and fixed that fall under a factory. Okay, if you check total variable cost we have it, which is 580. Okay, apologies guys, it can't be 580. Remember, we have a selling and distribution, which we are not going to include, which means that it's going to be 500, because we only have to add a direct material and direct labor. We don't include selling and distribution, okay, which means that it's going to be 500, 340 per unit and 160 per unit. Okay, now we don't know a factory overhead. How are we going to find a factory overhead? Think about it. Very simple. Very simple. This is how we are going to do it. Remember, we already calculated a factory overhead, which means that in order for us to get per unit, that we have to add it here. We have to say a 1,080,000 divided by 9,000 is going to give us 120 per unit for factory overhead. Then is the one that we are going to add here. Okay, which means that in this case you are going to get 620. Okay, I repeat again guys. In order for you to get a total cost of production, they said of production, which means that once they mention of production, do not include administration and selling and distribution. Only multiply by total units produced by direct labor. We know that they produce direct material, they fall under factory. Factory overhead, they also fall under factory. That's the three things that we have to add. Selling and distribution and office, do not include them. Okay? If you multiply 9,000 by 620, you are going to get total cost of production of 5,580,000. That's it, and you will get a full marks for this, a full marks. Okay, then the following question, they said, since you want to produce an additional 1,500 desk, calculate additional profit you can expect. The first step that you have to do guys for this one, okay, this was question 2.1, 2.3 will be this one. Okay, once they ask you a question like this where you have to calculate additional profit, it's gonna be very simple for you. You said 1,500, or you said the formula said additional. Okay, let me write the formula here. Additional profit, and you multiply by contribution per unit. Now the question is, what is contribution per unit? You know the formula to calculate a fixed, what do we call it? I think we're gonna get it on the following question. Let me check again. A break-even point, where you have to set a fixed cost divided by contribution per unit. Contribution per unit is the same as selling price per unit minus variable cost per unit. It's the same guys, it's the same. So additional profit, we know it is 1,500, and now we have to multiply by contribution per unit, which means that to calculate contribution per unit guys, we have to check our selling price. Our selling price, if you check for desk, it was 750. 750 minus variable cost per unit is how much? Our variable cost is 580. 580, and we're gonna get how much here? And let me calculate here and see how much I'm going to get. Okay, we're gonna get 170. 170. So in this case, guys, we are not calculating number of units produced, which means that our variable must also include what? Selling and distribution. Okay, then now because we get our 170, we can now calculate our profit, which is going to give us 255,000. Okay, that's the answer for 223. That's the additional profit if we produce another 1,500 desk. Alright,